welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII Remastered commentary playthrough. Alright, so in the last episode we saw the gardens battle each other, and now we are in Galbadia Garden, and with the ultimate purpose of coming in here to try and destroy the sorceress. Galbadia Garden in this part can be a big maze. They want you to go on a miniature little scavenger hunt here in order to hunt down these key cards. So we will do that, and you're going to be locked out of a lot of places unless you find all the key cards, especially the one you need to get to the sorceress. So some quick mentions here. Depending on your situation, if you want to level up, go ahead. There's plenty of good enemies in this area to do that against. I'm going to have encounter none because, you know, I got to push through this area just a little bit. A lot of the enemies you'll see here, you'll see in the late game as well, and pretty much all around the world, so there's really no need to do it right now. You do want some, like, useful abilities, though, so definitely have Mug at this point in the game. Recover, treatment, and, you know, make sure your GFs are learning any abilities you want them to learn. So honestly, I would fight battles in here if you have need for AP. And you can always card them or break or use break magic in order to not gain experience if you're trying to go that route. So continue. And in this area you'll encounter a blitz enemy. So it's like a full-on thunder area. So let's see here, the blitz, they look like those dudes. They have thunder magic, they absorb thunder. You'll find creeps. Creeps at high levels can actually be kind of dangerous because they do cast death magic with levels 30 plus. So just keep in mind of that because they can be kind of annoying to deal with if you don't have status defense junction to death. And then you'll find some other kind of crazy monsters in here. When we get to the hockey arena, I'll show there's like a very specific monster that only shows up here. Yeah, alright. But anyway, what you want to do from the save point, we're going to head right, and then up these flight of stairs. Go up to the second floor, and you'll see Fujin and Raijin. They don't want to battle us because, you know, they're tired from the other battles that they've been doing against us in the garden. After that, take Raijin's way over this side, and then you want to go into this door right here. Talk to this student, and he will give us the key card number 1. That's what we want. Now, head back to the save area. Go ahead and save your game, because we got a new key card, and you don't want to lose that because, you know, a terrible death spell hits you or something. Now, from here, you want to take the left side. And right here, this is where you would have figured out that you needed key cards to advance past this area. So you'll take this door on the left. It'll be unlocked with key card 1. And only specific to this area will we get these kind of like hockey player enemies. They're actually kind of good to farm a bit for for experience. And APs actually, they give pretty good AP actually. So we'll just showcase them. And they show up in giant groups of 4 sometimes. They're very easy to kill though. So no worries on that. They'll have strange dialogue of like hockey formations or something that they're going to do against you. And yeah, so they carry Blizzard magic, so that should tell you that they they are immune or absorb that kind of magic. So, just from a battle with 3 of them, they gave us 600 experience points. You know, I mean, they give a lot. Very good for high potions and 9 AP. So this is a very good enemy in this arena to farm up if you want to get some abilities and some experience, since you're locked out from the outside world right now. And if you go back into the room to the left over here, you'll find that life draw point again. So in case you need it, draw from it. But that's pretty much it for this room. You want to come over here to this door on the right. Enter this door and talk to this student. This student will give you the key card too. You can play cards against these guys. It's not really worth it though. They don't have anything that we really need right now. So from here, you want to return to the save point. So use that new key card to go down and then just travel the screens down until you reach it again. And then you want to go ahead and go back to Fujin and Raiden's area. Anyway, go ahead and continue up. So from floor 2, when you come back to Fujin and Raiden, head upwards to the other floor, and then you'll be able to unlock this door. Go through it. And you will hop down. You probably remember this from the first time we went here. This is like their little tennis court. There's a shell draw point here. You can head through this door. It's just a shortcut back to the save point. And then in this area right here, you're going to encounter a bear-looking enemy. It's called a Death Claw. So definitely the most different looking Deathclaw I've seen in these games in my life, because it's a bear with some like spider legs for arms. These things are kind of dangerous. They do have like a one-hit KO move. Very rare to pull out though, and if it does hit, it acts as death. I don't think death will actually resist it. And then they usually like to put you asleep or poison you, one of the two. So those are kind of dangerous, but they do net a lot of AP and a lot of experience. They're susceptible to a bunch of different magics though, so if you just put death on Squall's Blade for a status attack, then you'll have no issues with defeating anything in this area. Alright, so from here we want to continue down, and then continue even more down. And then this area will really be familiar, as we've come here before and had to actually do stuff around here. So the haste draw point is still there, but as you see, there is a giant monster in the way. And this is going to be our next GF summon, Cerberus. So Cerberus tactics, I would say you want Mug. You definitely want Mug, because he has a rare Speed Junction Scroll steal on him. And what he drops is that he also drops G returners. So we don't want the G returner. We definitely do want the Speed Junction ability. So we can put it onto another GF And we can have up to 2 characters at this point in the game that will actually have the speed junction, while Pandemona learns the other one. So you'll have 2 very fast characters once you have that ability set in. Now, Cerberus is immune to thunder and earth spells. So that's why I recommend not putting any kind of junctions into your elemental, because it just doesn't help you here. There's really nothing we can do about that part. But what you can do to help yourself is that Cerberus loves to cast Quake, Tornado, and Thunder magic. So if we were to at least cover yourself from, I would say, any of the elements you want. Right now, Squall's kind of invincible as far as the magic's concerned, because he can absorb every single magic in the game right now, with Ultima being in our defensive stat here. If you want to put Selfie's card into the card mod and learn Elemental Defense, which will teach your GF's Elemental Defense × 4, you can do that, and then you can protect against all the elements. But what this GF's gag is he will cast double and triple on himself. And what you want to do is that you always want to have at least 1 party member in reserve and have your dispels ready, so you can dispel that from Cerberus. Because if you allow him to get triple off and he summons like triple Quake or triple Tornadoes, you're going to be taking a lot of damage unless you're really resistant to those attacks. And honestly, it's just not worth the hassle to deal with. This is a GF that I can't recommend drawing from because he is kind of dangerous, and can give you game overs pretty quickly if you're not ready for him. So always have at least 1 character in the reserve to cast Dispel whenever he does triple or double himself, so that you can avoid that. And when he does double and triple himself, he'll actually like perk up and his tail will be in the air. So, you know, you just want to get rid of it as quickly as possible. But other than that, the fight's pretty straightforward. You're just going to want to damage him with your GFs, your strongest weapon, you know, your best physical attacker, stuff like that. But above all else, you definitely do want to steal the Speed Junction scroll. So this could take a few attempts to get. You don't want to outright kill him, so Squall can't be really doing a lot to hit him. And I believe he is immune to blind. I never really have enough opportunity to kind of see what statuses he's weak to, since I kind of eliminate him really quickly with the junctions that I have equipped right now. The only thing that'll be tough is trying to draw the speed junction from him. And his draw list is pretty common to Odin's. You know, he has double, triple, and some kind of earth magic. I think it's Quake or something like that. Maybe Quake or Tornado, one of the two. But just go in here and initiate battle with him. Oh no, we didn't. I forgot to put Mug on him. Oh no. Okay, so this is pretty busted right now. There's no way I can do this without quitting out. So we'll just fight him straight up. Yeah, and I mean, that's how easy it is to beat him at this low level. So I have to actually reload the game though. I messed up there. Alright, anyway. So, trying to talk this through and explain it, and I don't end up doing it. It's kind of funny, right? Probably first mistake I've made so far. But as you can see, he's not really that dangerous at all. As long as you don't let his triple and doubles to get off, then he can be easily dealt with. Well, check. Alright, so now that we got the mug, this battle should be better for me. And waste no time to cast Dispel on this guy. Now we can take him out. Alright, now, there we go. That's what we wanted to do. So make sure you come away with the Speed Junction Scroll. This is just going to help you. It's a good item to have. G returners are not worth it. The haste drop point. Go ahead and put Irvine back to counter none. So Cerberus is actually a really good GF to have. He also comes with Speed Junction, so you already have your 3 Speed Junctions right out the gate. And he has the ability ×3 option here. So if you have a character that's lacking in the ability section, which should be Questus here, it'll probably be a good idea to give it to her. So now she'll be able to equip 3 just like the rest of our characters here. And she also gains a hit status there. So we'll just give her more HP. And then hit. It does very well with the double and or triple magic. But right now I kind of want to hit strong because we're in a bunch of boss fights right now. And we're not fighting anything evasive anyway, so there's no way this really matters at this point. But double's not being used anyway, so we'll go ahead and just do this just to fill out the stat. And then if you did switch anything up that you don't want to do anymore, you can always take it back off and put it back where it used to be. I'm going to keep this up because the battle against the sorceress is going to, feature a lot of magic being used against us, and at least one party member that can absorb it. It's great. But the real key thing is if you have Carbuncle, Carbuncle is going to make your life easy in that fight because he casts Reflect on you, and the sorceress is going to spend all of her turns trying to dispel your characters with the Reflect status. So if you have one character continuously casting Reflect, she's just going to be stuck in this infinite loop of I have to get rid of the status, and it's going to be too easy. And then on the flip side of that, though, if you don't want to continuously summon Carbuncle, you can mod his card into like moon reflection or something. I forget what it's called, but it gives you 3 items to learn the auto reflect. I think it's called Moon Curtain, and it gives you the auto reflect ability. So that cannot, anything that you get auto wise in the game will never be able to be dispelled. So you'll have auto reflect on the entire battle, which is great against magic casting enemies. But if you're trying to do something for your own party and whatnot, then you're gonna have it bounce off of you and then get onto the enemy. So reflect is 2-edged sword, like it always has been. So then with Cerberus, I would just learn the new stuff. Okay. And then we also got the Cerberus card to go along with all of that battling we just did. He'll turn into 100 lightweights. It's not that great. Don't use it. Don't do that. Because he himself is actually a really strong card to have in your playable deck. We have, up to this point, we haven't really had anything on the right side that's been really strong to deal with. Cerberus changes that just a little bit. So other than the Minotaur and Sacred cards. But they don't have an A, so you know. So then from here you want to travel south and west of where you were at. You want to travel to this door right here and talk to this NPC. And she will give you the key card 3. So now we are done with gathering all the key cards we need for the area. So go back up to the center. Now you can go ahead and explore like the rest of the garden. Honestly, there's really nothing here anymore for us. It'll just lead you all back, you know, the ways that we've already been. Come over here, and then you want to head straight up. And you're trying to basically get back to that room that we were in when we were discussing from Disc 1 when Cypher might have been being executed and stuff like that. So in this general hallway, and then take this left, and there will be an elevator here. So now you're going to be thrust into another boss fight here, and this one's going to be against Cypher. So go ahead and use your Cure Magics, heal up, and ensure that you have one of your characters with Mug here. Because if you Mug Cypher, you'll actually gain a better item, but it is kind of up to you. So you'll be able to Mug Mega Phoenixes off of him, or Mega Potions from his regular drop. I would take the Mega Phoenixes because those refine into better items using the refine abilities, and they're actually really, really hard to get. So any opportunity you can get to get a Mega Phoenix, I would. Mega Potions, they'll be widely available, especially for purchase, once we actually start using our GF abilities and learning some new things. So those aren't going to be too hard to come by. And once you're ready, head into this elevator. Carefully walk to the right side of the screen, because if you go too far up, you'll be thrust into battle with him. And then go ahead and engage. Now, Cypher can hit pretty hard, right? Unless you can absorb a bunch of his different things here. So he comes with some pretty interesting magics. You might want to stock up on the Dispel that we used. Cast Haste on the party. But definitely mug this guy. He's going to use a special on us. Or not. Over. There we go. So the battles themselves aren't very difficult, especially if you junctioned well. And with Squall having the drain in his status attack, I mean, we got all of our HP back. So thankfully, Cypher was attacking Squall mainly, which he usually does. But as long as you pull those 8 Mega Phoenixes away, then I consider that the better reward than the Mega Potions for sure. Now we want to go down towards the auditorium. And essentially all you're doing is you're coming around this side. So when you come into this section, there's actually a hidden drop save point here. So thankfully these guys showed up. So this is the Tri-Face enemy that I was trying to get to spawn in Disc, or in the Balam Garden, like, little maintenance area when we were activating to become an airship. So these guys, they drop an item called Curse Spike. And what I'm gonna do is I need to farm these dudes because this is the earliest that they'll show up. In good abundance, because back down in the Balam Garden area, they were actually a really rare enemy. So it was really hard to get them to spawn. But in this little area right here, especially above this little walkway, they spawn like crazy in this area. Or they can spawn where Cerberus was sitting at, but sometimes you'll pull a Deathclaw or something, and those things can be kind of annoying to deal with. So with the Tri-Face, you want to mug them for 100 Curse Spikes. And then once we get 100 Curse Spikes, we will be able to turn it into an item called Dark Matter, which will help Questus learn her ultimate ability, Grand Pulsar. So if you're trying to get the all blue magics achievement for the game, this is something that you're going to have to do here. I think it's easiest to do it here, but there is another dungeon in the late game that will have these guys aplenty. And they will be really, really high levels, so getting them is going to be no issue. It's just spending time mugging them and then running away. So this will affect your seed rank because of how many battles you're going to run from. But in my opinion, I think it's worth at least mugging them and then running, and then using the test to gain back any seed level that you might have lost. So I'm going to spend time here. I'm going to get those 100 Curse Spikes, and then we will continue, and we're going to fight the Sorceress in the next episode, and then which will also continue into Disc 3. So spend some time here, grind these guys out, get 100 curse spikes. You can use the level up and level down ability. If you level them up, when you mug them, you'll draw like 6 to 8 curse spikes a time. So it should go really quickly. They're just a little bit deadly because they do cast a lot of status ailments, and that's just something that you have to be watching out for. And sometimes Odin does like to make an appearance here, and Odin will cut them down and give you guys a lot of experience points. So keep that in mind when you're doing this, because there's no way to stop him. So I would probably suggest putting on the HP bonus, the strength bonus, and doing all those kinds of things, because sometimes Odin's just not going to, help you out here. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. And then make sure you use move. When you're done with all this, use move find in this area, and there will be a hidden save point. And that'll be it. So I'll do this one battle, show it, save it, and then I'll return when I have 100 curse spikes and when we're ready to take on the sorceress. So this is the highest level of the highest level Tri-Face that we faced up to this point. And they have Pain Magic and they got Flare Magic. So Pain and Flare are very good to have. Yeah, there we go. Jesus. They're just kind of stupid to deal with. But that's their mode. The Sleeping Gas is really the most dangerous ability because it causes confusion. So if you have status defense and you have 100 confuses, just go ahead and put that in there to prevent this from happening. And then while when you mug something in this game and you run away, you'll still maintain that item for what you mugged for. So you'll see I had a couple curse spikes already, so I went up 6. And if you use one of them, you actually learn LV Death, which I've already done that. So that's level !death. That just pretty much means she'll summon a death, the death spell, and it'll kind of go with like in conjunction of a random level, and there's like math involved with, if it's in a multiple of a 2, 1, 3 or 4 or 5, then it'll hit for death. If it's weak to it, then it'll hit, stuff like that. So it's not the best thing she's got, to be honest. But anyway, stock up on those pains, those flares, and try and get those curse spikes up to 100, so it'll help you out from here. And then here's the move find thing. And then you can use a tent to heal everything. And if you want things to be a little bit easier on you, I mean, we did pick up the status guard. I'm not using it just yet because, you know, I'm going to get future GFs and stuff like that. So some of them come with this ability or they learn it later. And, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly for the sake of what I'm trying to do here. And then, but you can use it, and then you can spread Carbuncle and whoever else has the status defense Siren to your other characters in order for them to have the status defense so that this will be a little bit more safer to do. Because Confusion's the only thing that's really messing us up right now. And we saw that our characters were using like magic from their stock pool because they were confused, you know. And if you want to avoid that, all you really got to do is just cast or put something else on here or just completely remove it. So if you remove magic from the ability list and you encounter those guys and you get, you know, confusion inflicted on you, as long as you don't have the command ability available in their command menu, they won't be able to use it. So they can't use items and they won't be able to use magic. And Squall's already protected from confusion, so I'm not really worried about him. The only thing that I do have to worry about is their attacks hitting each other, you know, and then dwindling down their HP just like that. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll be back with 100 of these curse spikes. Just from dealing with those tri-face enemies. Try to draw Pain and try to draw Flare to at least 100. Very, very powerful magics to have. And we'll continue and we'll finish this too in the next one. Thank you.